Today, you and I are going to be making pizza beef jerky, and the problem here isn't whether the flavor is going to work or not. We already know pizza jerky can work because we've made it years ago, and it was a hit with our taste testers. The real test today is whether we can make it even better without breaking what worked with the original recipe. So that puts me in a very specific kind of a headspace. It's not so much a playful curiosity, but a skeptical discomfort that comes with trying to improve something that we already knocked out of the park. Now, when something hits once, expectations go way up the second time around, and that is what worries me. Okay, so pizza is built on really, really bold flavors. You got garlic, oregano, tomato, cheese, pineapple, everything is turned up. But jerky is a different world than pizza. When you dehydrate meat, you're concentrating everything. And sometimes those big, bold, familiar pizza flavors, they don't exactly survive the journey the same way you'd expect. What tastes like perfect fresh out of the oven can get a little lost in translation once it's dried down into jerky. And that's what makes this one so very scary. Because pizza flavors are so bold and dehydration is such a wild filter, it's like a flavor filter, this jerky's either gonna come out legendary or the flavor is gonna completely fall apart in the translation. There's basically no safe middle ground when it comes to pizza flavored jerky. I honestly have no idea where this flavor is gonna land. If it works, we might have stumbled onto something genuinely special. And if it doesn't, then pizza might just be the one flavor that refuses to become jerky. They do exist, you know. Either way, you and I are about to find out. Now, before we touch anything, let's be perfectly clear about the risks that are involved in this one. Pizza flavor is a compound flavor by nature, and that is where the danger starts. You're combining tomato and herbs and cheese and sugar and salt and spice. All of these things are competing for attention. The problem is jerky thrives on restraint and balance, while pizza flavor relies on volume and intensity. So here's a quick breakdown of what could go absolutely wrong if we're not careful on this one. First, the surface stickiness is a real risk here because of the ketchup, sugar, and the cheese powder. Over-herbing is another concern, especially with oregano. That can really turn into a bitter and dusty flavor real quick. Sweetness creep is also on the table, where the flavor stops being savory and starts tasting way too sweet. That's exactly why I'm skeptical going into this one. And the skepticism comes directly from my experience. Here's the thing, this isn't my first time trying to make pizza jerky. The very first version started with a comment that we got on TikTok from Vicious Viper, and that one kind of started as a joke flavor. He asked for our pizza jerky, and as a joke, we pretended like he specifically wanted pineapple pizza jerky. So we made pineapple pizza jerky and proved that pizza flavored jerky could actually work if we did it right. It smelled great, it got people talking, and it seemed to be a hit all around the office here. So a few months after that first version, we decided to take it just a little more seriously. We ended up dropping pizza beef jerky to our official taste testers with the pineapple removed and focused on a more classic pizza flavor. And I'll be honest, that version landed extremely well with our taste testers. The feedback was great and a lot of people genuinely loved the flavor. So now we knew that pizza jerky could work, but we wondered if we could improve it and make it even better. So we tried a couple more versions over the following year. One was simpler, more straightforward pizza jerky, and the other one leaned heavier into a cheesy flavor structure. Even though both of them were good, neither of them were quite as good as the original version that we dropped to our taste testers. They were solid jerky flavors, but they lost something along the way. So this test isn't about fixing a failure, it's about building on a version that already worked and pushing it even further. The goal today is to take that original pizza jerky and make it bolder and make it better. Okay, let's build the marinade. Everything is gonna go straight into the Ninja blender so we can control the texture right from the very start. I'm gonna start with a half cup of ketchup, and you can smell it immediately because it's sweet, tangy, and unmistakably pizza adjacent. Go ahead, roast me in the comments for using ketchup. Next goes a half cup of soy sauce and a third cup of Worcestershire sauce. This puts the aroma back towards something more savory and jerky-like. Now I'm adding 3 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, along with 2 tablespoons of oregano. It's already getting into more of that pizza realm. Next in are 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and 2 teaspoons of onion powder. Both of these are gonna build that jerky base. I'm also adding a tablespoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of paprika, and 2 teaspoons of parsley to round out the spice profile. Now the sugar goes in. 4 tablespoons worth, and that amount is pushing it. Kind of worry about that part. This is one of the biggest risks in the entire marinade because sugar plus ketchup plus cheese can turn ugly if the drying isn't perfect. Speaking of that, I'm adding a half a cup of cheese powder. And I'll be honest with you, this is kind of playing with fire. Cheese powder helps bring that pizza identity, but it also brings a serious risk of ruining the jerky if it's not fully incorporated properly. Finally, 2 teaspoons of crushed red pepper flakes. Go in for a little bit of heat and a little bit of balance. At this point, everything is in the blender. Now I just screw the lid on here and let's blend this mixture until it's completely smooth. No real grit, no clumps. All right, now let's move on to the top round. I keep 2-pound pre-sliced batches already in Ziploc bags in the freezer. So when we do the batches like this, I can just grab them and go. These slices that I'm using are thin. They're right around 1/8 of an inch. And that means 1, the flavor will penetrate very quickly. 2, the drying will happen very fast. And 3, it also means that it's very easy to overdo if you stop paying attention. Now all the meat goes into a large bowl, so we got room to work. And that blended marinade that we make, I just pour that directly right over the top of the meat. Now we mix everything together. You do not want to half-ass this step. You want to lift and fold and turn the slices over until every piece is coated evenly all the way around. The goal here is coverage, and you don't want the meat stacked together. Once everything's fully coated, we level the meat out into the bowl. Just make sure that every slice is in contact with that marinade. Then the lid goes on, and I'm gonna throw it straight in the refrigerator. You're gonna want a marinade to sit for at least 24 hours. I'm gonna put it in closer to 48. Yes, that's a long time, but it is intentional. We're making sure that the flavors incorporate into that meat instead of just soaking into the surface. It's been almost 2 days now. Let's pull the bowl out of the refrigerator and take a look. Visually, the meat looks darker and evenly covered. There are no discolored spots. Now, the most important check happens, which is how the meat feels. Well, it feels slick from the marinade, but it doesn't feel slimy or anything, so that's a good sign. Now, instead of laying this meat flat on dehydrator racks like you normally do, we're changing the approach for this batch. Each piece of jerky gets pierced with a stainless steel skewer. So we load each skewer with as many pieces of meat as will comfortably fit on it without the meat touching. Hanging the jerky gives us airflow on all the sides, which is a big advantage when texture really matters. Once the skewers are loaded, we hang them inside the dehydrator using these stainless steel S-hooks. Each S-hook connects the skewer to the underside of one of the dehydrator racks. This keeps the meat suspended, spaced, and exposed to consistent airflow. Now this setup takes a little more time and a little messier, but it gives us much more control. And I really love the texture of hang-dried jerky. Once everything is racked up, it goes into your jerky making machine at 167 degrees Fahrenheit. That temperature is hot enough to efficiently drive out most of the moisture. Now the door gets closed and the timer gets started. The first check is scheduled for about 2 hours in. I think it's gonna be about 4 to 5 hours total, but I wanna kind of babysit this starting at 2 hours. All right, it's been 2 hours exactly. Let's kind of see what's going on in here. Yeah, all right, starting to set up a bit here. Still pretty floppy. It's got a little ways to go. You can see where those were touching. This is what you don't want, but yeah, I think we're good. I'm gonna set it in for another hour and a half or so and we'll check back then. All right, so total, it's been about 4 hours. We checked after 2. I set it for another hour and a half and then I added another half hour. I really like the way this is looking. You can see as you bend it, it's got a little bit of pliability to it, but you get those white fibers in there, has some good pull to it, not a lot of moisture. I think this is right where we want it to be. All right, taste test time on the Pizza Beef Jerky. I got Kenny and Joey in here with me to try it. All right, before we try it, tell me, what do you expect from the pizza recipe?
I expect a lot of bold flavor. I mean, this sounds like a crazy idea, crazy combination, so.
I don't know, I'm expecting like oregano, like classic pizza flavors. I'm hoping some cheese pulls through. I don't know how the cheese is gonna go, but.
All right, pick it up. What's the first thing you think about the texture?
It's got a nice bend to it, a nice snap, I feel like.
Is it on the dry side? What do you think?
I'll say it's in the middle, but it does feel a little snappier than it looks.
I don't know, it feels a little on the dry side, so let's see what it tastes like. Let's take a bite. What hit you first, flavor-wise?
Like Italian seasonings, I pick up some oregano, maybe some onion.
I'd say Italian seasoning at first, but I do feel like I'm picking up a little bit of cheese or something, and some sauce.
Yeah, kind of a sweeter tomato, and that oregano is kind of what I hit. A little bit of heat on the back end, just a little bit.
I think overall, I think it's doing its job.
Yeah, I feel like if I didn't know it was pizza jerky and you gave it to me, I feel like I could pinpoint it.
If you can guess the flavor correctly, that's how you know you're on something.
Now, how's the chew? Is it too soft, too tough? Is it just right?
I think this is in the middle of the road.
I like it though. I like the chew on it.
I'd say middle of the road, a little on the dry side, but middle of the road for sure.
That thicker cut kind of forces you to chew more, and you bring out more of that flavor the more you chew. Kind of builds.
Now what about the aftertaste? Is there anything still hanging around, or what do you get?
I feel like as I sit here, the sauce, whatever the sauce, the ketchup, whatever you put in it, I feel like to me that's what sits.
Yeah, there's some sort of like a spicier aftertaste.
Yeah, this is a very seasoning heavy recipe, so you're definitely getting those things hanging around. That's at least for me anyway. Are you getting any sort of heat whatsoever? One out of 10, anything?
There's something there.
I put it really low though. I get like a 1 or 2. Like it's almost there, but I gotta search for it.
I'd go 3, 4.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3. I mean, there's enough heat there. Especially if you're super sensitive to it, you would pick up on that right away. All right, now the part most people ignore, mouthfeel. We did a hang dry on this one. Hang dry gives a different mouthfeel than laying it flat. What do you think? Is it dry? Is it crispy? What do you think of the mouthfeel?
I'd say it's drier, but it's got a little bit of a bite, like a chew to it. You gotta chew it a second. It's a little, maybe like denser.
See, when you hang dry, you get these different bends and textures in it. That makes the mouthfeel, the chew, completely different than just a flat piece of meat. Okay, what would you change to make it better next time?
If you could pull some cheese flavor through, that would kind of connect all the dots for me, but otherwise, I think this is pretty spot on.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on pizza, and I was actually gonna say cheese as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice to pull a little more cheese through on this one. All right, give me a 1-sentence review of this jerky.
I'm completely happy with it. I think this turned out pretty well.
This is delicious jerky, one of the best ones I feel like we've done in a little bit.
If you like pizza, you would like this jerky. It's got a sweet tomato base to it, plenty of seasoning. This is a good pizza jerky. Now the most important question, is this a keep it or is this a kill it?
Oh, big keep. Big keep. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, we make eye contact at the same time. I'm on the same page. It's a keep. This is well done.
Of course, keep it. All right, well, that's it for Pizza Beef Jerky. Drop a comment with the next jerky flavor we should make. If you like this recipe, subscribe because we make a new recipe every single week and we've got some pretty great ideas planned for future videos. Also, if you want to be one of our official taste testers and try brand new jerky flavors that nobody else gets to try, check out the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in our test kitchen.